Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 166. And in this one, we will be discussing the 1-1 draw against Nottingham Forest. And we'll also be discussing their points deduction, which they have received today. There was heavy rumours the other day, especially on Friday, and they were going to get them on Monday. And they did get them on Monday. Personally, without getting into it too much, because we'll do it after the reaction, I thought they'd get more, but obviously we'll get more into that. But like always, I'm joined with Dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, good, mate.
Good. But yeah, let's get into it. So Nottingham Forest, obviously, again, first time in a while, I've got a Luton score prediction right, which obviously extends my lead, in our little competition thing we're doing, Dad. But yeah, obviously you said 1-0. Again, it could have been, one of them, the chances both teams had. But yeah, obviously a lineup. Now we got done with the lineup. We got pranked. Let's all be honest. We thought Ruddock could be in centre back because it looked like it said he was on that left-sided centre back. A few people, even on this, in the comments on these episodes, have said, played there. Back in the day, a few times, obviously when he was at West Ham as well, and I think he might have very early stages of being at us, if I can remember it rightly. But yeah, obviously we all thought he was there, because of our defensive injuries as well. But he wasn't. It was a prank in the end. It was a prank. He was in that midfield, and Kabore was actually the one on that left-sided centre back role, and I think Ruddock it seemed like he was sort of free roaming because obviously Kabore, it said he was on the right wing back, so you're not going to put Ruddock on the wing, are you? So for me, he was sort of free roaming, more bodies in midfield, you could say, because obviously you've got Barkley there, you've got Clark there already, so I think that's what it was. It makes sense as well, especially you look at games like the Bournemouth game, we should have had more bodies in the midfield in the second half, to go on and get a result, but obviously we all know what happened. But yeah, so obviously it's Ruddock, Menji and Burke, obviously Kaminsky in goal, Kabore, Doughty, and then Clark, Barkley, Chio, Chong and Morris. So I think it's sort of what I said, bar Chio. I think I might have went with Townsend again, but yeah, pretty similar. As for the bench, Berry, Dos Santos, again, that's his second time on the bench now. Obviously signed him in the summer, youngster. Hashioka, Krul, Nelson, Pysol, Shea, Townsend, Woodrow. I mean, Hashioka was a surprise to me in a way that he didn't start, because I thought he still would, but maybe in a different position. If he weren't to be in that left centre back, but yeah, he didn't even come on either, which was pretty interesting. And again, me personally, I don't want to be too critical of him because I believe he will come good, but at the same time, you look at games like the other day and you can't do that at this level. And we could look back on it, even with these points deduction, we could look back on that sort of game, being 3-0 up. But yeah, that was the lineup. So interesting. Obviously, we still got a few players out, so that's why we've got, a lot more youngsters than we usually would have on the bench. Obviously, we had two keepers as well. It tells you about the crisis, the injury crisis. But yeah, sort of expected, other than a few, I guess. But yeah, your thoughts when you saw that lineup, Dad?
Yeah, again, interesting. I thought, well, he is playing there, but I did sort of say to you, like, I don't know, I think there might be a bit of kidology going on here. And there was. I think Ruddock and Clark was switching. That's what I think. But yeah, again, quite surprised Ashoka didn't start. I thought he would, but I think they're just going to give him more time. Like it possibly maybe start after the international break. See where, especially if we've got Lokonga back, then I think I could see him starting on the right, and I could see Kabore maybe even starting in that position for the rest of the season because he done all right, to be fair. And you could put Ashioka on the right because I think defensively we still need that because we're lacking that bit of backup defensively still in certain areas. Chio for me had another sort of poorish game in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, like we keep saying, he's not really on that. He's sort of going there and then he stops and plays it back. It's quite frustrating to see because we know how good he is at that. He's one of the fastest players in the Premier League. And he's just not really using that to his advantage. It's a bit frustrating, but as it stands, going into them massive games, they're the games you look at in the Premier League. The ones we've got coming up. You've got to be going with experience for me. So we've got to be going with Townsend. Personally, I think against Tottenham and Arsenal as it stands right now, but we shall see. But yeah, no, again, Kabore, really good. Like I say, it's ever since that thing went out, from us, he's just been on smoke. I'm not going to lie. So fair play to him. He's doing a lot better for sure. But yeah, let's go through the comments. Big up to everyone inside as well. A lot of people inside here right now, so do appreciate that very much. Big up to Stephen. He says, big up Ty, big up yourself, mate. He says, big up to you as well, Dad. He has had a comment on the points deduction, which I'll get into that section and that comment obviously after this. Yes. Big up to Adam in the chat. Big up to Peaches saying hi. And then big up to Jamie as well in the chat. He says, all right, pal. Good, thanks, mate. Hope you're well. So, yeah. And I'll kindly decline that. Obviously, he's referring to Timo Werner. No, thanks, mate. I'm all right. I mean, we do need someone to start, putting the ball in a bit more consistently out wide. But no, I'm good, thanks. But yeah, moving on to the actual game, the first half. Now, it was one of them, wasn't it? We had a few chances. They had a few chances. Obviously, the first one, the first big chance of the game was obviously Ross Barkley hit the post. Very unlucky. Excuse me. Again, I thought it's a good performance from him. You've got to remember as well, he had a broken nose, from that Palace game. And the way he's continued to play is crazy. Obviously, he sort of has to because, one, he's more the experienced one, two, the injuries he got. But, it's difficult to play like that. Even the little collision he had in the Bournemouth game, and he still carried on, until obviously he come off. But yeah, massive shout out to him. Again, I know I keep saying it, but he's not even playing his main position as well, which is higher up as a midfielder. I can't wait till we actually see that. That'll be sick to see. But obviously we can't at the moment because the injuries. But yeah, obviously he hit the post, very unlucky. At first glance, I thought it was wide. Not far wide. I just thought it was wide, but it actually hit the post. Very unlucky from him. Then Nottingham Forest started having their chances. There was a moment where Burke, he didn't quite get onto the tackle that he tried to do. You have seen that a few times from him in recent weeks. So it happened at one point in the Bournemouth game as well. And then obviously he had the awareness and the great idea of what was to come next. So then obviously he stood on the line and Origi went for the shot and great clearance off the line by Burke. I felt he was better in this game, definitely than the last previous games for sure. And yeah, and then they started having a lot more chances. Nottingham Forest, obviously, then they did get their goal. Who else but Chris Wood? That's 3 goals he scored against us now this season. And yeah, it was very annoying. His celebrations, I was frustrated. His celebrations, thought it was a bit over the top. It weren't near the end of the game. I don't know why he's celebrating like that for. Get out of it. Just do one, mate. Do you know what I mean? Just do one. That very frustrated me. And, I did feel, if we were to lose this game, which obviously we didn't in the end, thank God. But if we did, like you said on the Hat Show leading up to it, Dad, it would have probably, been we to go down. If I'm going to be honest, because for me, it's probably between us, Forest, and Everton. You would say, you can maybe say Brentford as well if they keep having these weird results that they're having. But yeah, very frustrating goal to concede. And what did you make of the build up we had before that and the Reece Burke clearance off the line, Dad?
Yeah, it played well for the first 15 minutes, and then they said they started getting a little bit of grips with the game, headed down the line, kind of good crossing really. For me, Burke was aware, but Chio should have been doing much more to run back. He just sort of kind of just stood there and watched him header it in, or get into space, definitely, right? So that was a bit frustrating. And yeah, he's just a bit of a wind-up merchant, I think, that guy. But not really too bothered. We had the last laugh, didn't we? So yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but we definitely defended better. It's good clearance from Burke. As you said, played better in this game.
Yeah, definitely. What I was going to say as well is going back to what I said. Don't celebrate too early. Because did he not realise what happened last time? He celebrated too early as well. You know what I mean? Chris Wood, obviously, we got the equaliser there as well. And going into this, another reason I felt it was going to be a draw is because how high the stakes were for both teams, and also the fact we're unbeaten against them. And now it's 6 games now, isn't it? It's 5. It's 5 going into it. So I had that feeling as well. And he should have learned. But there we go. Peaches, obviously a Forest fan, says he's usually a bit classier than that. It's been a while since he's now scored and he's out injured. Karma, I guess you could say that, to be honest. Referring to the Reece Burke clearance, excellent clearance. Yeah, no, for sure. I really rated the awareness because he didn't quite get onto the ball, to win it back, and I was like, oh no. But then he knew what was going to happen, and he was so aware, so he stood on the line, and that was really good because I did think in the first half at times Nottingham Forest, on that right hand side, quite dangerous with Origi, which again you sort of expect because he is a good player. Maybe he's not quite lived up to what Forest fans think, but at the same time, I do think he has been good in games I have seen. Don't get me wrong, I haven't seen loads, but the ones where he's been going forward, he has got that quality. We know that. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, moving on to the second. The Menji goal actually. Bloody hell, nearly forgot about that. Well, I sort of wish I did because it was just stupid. It is a handball. But nowadays it is, but it shouldn't be for me. Me personally, it just shouldn't be because what's he really meant to do there? He's control of his knee. It's not like it's one of them where his arms, up in the air or out wide, like you've seen a lot of times. Look at like the Ward-Prowse handball that we never got a penalty for, against West Ham, ones like that. It doesn't, it's just very inconsistent for me. So it's a very unfortunate, goal. Mengi as well. Mengi. I keep saying Mengi, right? And someone actually corrected me on TikTok, and I keep getting it wrong. So yeah, Mengi. Sorry, but yeah, very annoying goal. That it didn't stand for me. But I guess that's the rules nowadays, isn't it, Dad?
Yeah, they need to clear it up. I mean, it weren't like a deliberate hand like that. It sort of come up. I think it was a bit of that. Maybe if anything, it just touched it. Is what it is. Like if a striker does it, it's handball, isn't it? That's it. If a defender does it, it's I don't know. They need to sort of clear that out. They always tidy things up the following season. If things ain't really working, it should be more. If they can't do anything and it hits them, that's just rubbish, isn't it? So yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I just don't like the consistency of it. Like, if you're going to say that's a handball, then I guess it's fair enough. But then you see, like I said, you look at when we played West Ham earlier in the season, and Ward-Prowse got his arm out, and that's not a penalty. I don't get it. It just needs to be a lot more consistency. If it is to be a handball nowadays, you've got to look at other things like that for me. But yeah, moving on to the second half. Obviously, again, we had another chance cleared off the line. Mengi this time. Mengi, bloody hell, keep doing it. But yeah, no, very good from him. I see he was very frustrated as well, because it was a bit too easy for them to get in behind, for that. But yeah, he done really good again. Obviously we're getting to player ratings and that, but he's definitely the best centre back again for me in this game. Definitely. Definitely. And obviously he got called up for England under 21s, like we said on the last one. Fully deserved. Fully happy to see that as well. So yeah, really, really good from him again. And then they had that moment where they nearly scored from about 60 yards out, just from a free kick, by Murillo or whatever his name is. If that went in, I'd have been absolutely fuming because that just wouldn't have been acceptable. Let's just be honest with it now. But Kaminsky done well, tipped it over. At least he saved it. Do you know what I mean? But God, they took it quickly, and we sort of didn't really expect it. But then he obviously tipped over the line, done well there. And then Luke Berry come on and he got that Premier League goal. Massive shout out to Luke Berry. He's the first Luton player to do it in all of the top 4 English divisions. Now we're just hoping Pelly Ruddock does it as well. Berry, I've always liked him, man. Every time he comes on, he puts on a shift. Puts in a shift, shall I say. I remember that game against Blackburn. I'll never forget that one. With literally first ever away day in the Championship. I thought it was all going wrong. 2-0 down. We was all over the place. Brung on Sonny Bradley. I remember he was massive in that game. He steadied the ship in the defence. And then Luke Berry come on and got 2 vital goals there. He's done it a lot. Even Millwall last season in the Championship, brought it back to 2-2. Blackpool, he had a really good game. Obviously got the goal there last season. So he is known for doing this. And it was good to see that he finally done it in the Prem, because I think ever since the Everton away game, when he's come on in the FA Cup, he's put on a shift, and he just rose to it again. And great finish. Really good finish, to be honest. Obviously from a set piece from us, which was good to see that we're finally using them again to our strengths, because we know how good we are at them. And yeah, absolute scenes, because let's be honest, it wasn't the greatest performance from us, but to end up getting a point, I mean, partly because I said 1-1 as well, I sort of accepted it. And, it's sort of like you said, Dad, as well, going into it, the point's more beneficial for us because of these points deductions for them. So, yeah, shout out to Luke Berry, Dad?
Yeah, definitely. Waiting for him to pop up with a goal for a while now, and it was a good, clever finish. Chong sort of pulled back because he was looking to go for it. Good header back in by Burke, got the assist as well, and yeah, last minute, good. We needed that. We wasn't as poor as we was against Palace, but we are struggling defensively with certain players coming back. Clark, Chio, we need Lukonga back. Do you know what I mean? So that we went off at half time as well. Chong was average in the game. We're missing Elijah, but we still got a point. So glad we got this break now. And yeah, it was fair play to Luke Berry. I remember before we signed him, he was a good player for Cambridge, banging in some goals and that. And I was like, yeah, he's decent. And then, he's come all the way. And I probably we didn't even really think about that. That he hadn't scored, he'd scored in all divisions. We just all concentrating on Ruddock, because obviously if Ruddock does it, it's a bigger thing. But still, for Berry to do it is still massive anyway. So yeah, I'm pleased that he's come on and contributed. That could be a point that ends up, helping us stay up. So if that's that's his main thing for the season, then so be it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I say, with that, it goes back to what you said. With a point, and I just felt it's going to be that type of game where we cancel each other out. And I was thinking for large parts, obviously, Dad, we done the vlog from home. I was thinking, if we lose this game, then it's just not looking good. I don't even know if I did want to watch the other games, because if we're struggling to score against, Forest, we still got Tottenham and Arsenal away. Oh mate. So glad we got the draw in the end. Points better than nothing, as they say. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, the ref was crap, but I sort of expected it, because he was the same one that was, one of the idiots, and I will say idiots, that, in that very stupid game between Liverpool and Tottenham earlier on in the season. He was part of referee in there, and I just see what he's done in previous games. But there we go, Premier League referees for your top league, most watched league in the world, and half of them can't even do their job. It's just bizarre to me, to be quite honest with you. No, exactly, Jackie, and that's what I was saying. If that is a handball nowadays, then fair enough. But then I look at ones like the Ward-Prowse one earlier in the season. How's that not a handball then? Because his arm's out. Menzies is actually down. It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. But yeah, there we go with that. Yeah, again, Barkley got another stupid yellow card. Not from him, but as in the referee booking him for it.
Yeah, what I'll say about that, yeah, there was follow through, but it was slow. his legs were together. They weren't out. His studs weren't up. This was stupid. Like, he's won the ball. Of course, the follow through's the players go in for the ball. So of course, it's, just that theatrical roles that they do. Some of these players in the Premier League, he winds me up. But yeah, he did look like him. As you can see on the vlog, when we did score off, even then I think someone was talking about there might have been a foul on one of their players, whatever. Like, that's why I was like, did it count? Does it count? Because I was waiting for something to go no, So yeah, you can tell with some refs whether they like you or not. You can feel it. You watch thousands of football games, you can tell. And he definitely is in that bracket. There's certain teams you don't like, you can tell.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, definitely. Peacher says, to be fair, knew it was going to be a set piece. We are the worst in the league at defending them, and we're worst at scoring them. Inevitable. Yeah, and again, it goes back to what I say. It's one of our strengths. So let's cause that threat from it. I can't remember who it was. We played someone, and they were actually the worst at defending it set piece at the time. Can't even remember who it was though. But yeah, we actually capitalised on it on that game. So yeah, there was that. Steve says a lot of they were absolutely shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking. But moving on to the player ratings. So Kaminsky done that save from that long shot. Still felt he had a decent game. Again, he couldn't really do much about the goal. Me personally, I think Burke should have been slightly better on Wood for the goal. Slightly better because he was sort of behind him. He didn't really see him. So yeah, Kaminsky, I'm gonna go with 7.
Yeah, I'll give him 7. He saw it a little bit late, but he still saved it at the end of the day. He was off his line a little bit, a few times actually. For me, he likes coming out of his box and that, and he's getting more confidence with his feet and stuff, which is good to see. He can pretty much rely on him. We didn't have an awful lot to do, with the goal line clearances. He was already beat, so I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie's gone with 7.5 for Kaminsky. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Burke. Like I say, it's a better game from him. Obviously that clearance off the line, really good awareness. Because he didn't quite originally, win the ball before that, so he done well to redeem himself, in my opinion. There. And yeah, he had a decent game. Like I say, the goal for me is his marking's got to be a little bit better, but it wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible in this game. But based on that, I'm going to go 6.5.
I'll give him a 7.5. Goal line clearance, even though all 3 defenders could say done a goal line clearance. Really, even Kabore, he's one as it was on the way. He got assist. He was better defensively in this game. So I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, fair enough. Terry's gone with a 7 for Kaminsky. Jackie's gone with a 7 for Burke, and Terry also says Burke 8. Obviously, he got the assist for the goal, like you just said there, Dad. Moving on to Mengi, he is my man of the match. I'm going to give it to him. He has been really good in these games. I felt even in the Bournemouth game he was good. He's just unlucky really. The other, rest of the defence weren't great in that game, as we know. But yeah, really good from him again. Obviously, the clearance off the line. And he is showing why he has got picked for the England under-21s. Just consistently good. I always say it's like when he first came in, Rob Evans said he's not expected to start and play as regularly as he does, but because of the injuries and all that sort of thing, he's had to. It's just really good. Obviously, he had that moment after the game, which was good to see. Good to see, obviously, him sitting down on the pitch, chilling with Elanga. That was good to see. But yeah, good game. Good game from Mengi. Man of the match for me. So based on that, I'm going to go with I'll go with 8.
Yeah. He's also my man of the match, 8. The shot at the goal as well, bit unlucky with that. But his goal line clearance was that was Burks was good, but his was better, I think, because it was like creeping in at the far post. He took it forward a couple of times. He's just confident. He's easily our best defender, and he's good in the middle as well. Like, we should be sticking him there. So yeah, man of the match for me as well. 8.
Yeah, Terry and Jackie have also gone with the 8 for Mengi as well. And then moving on, we'll go to Ruddock. I mean, it is a little bit difficult because obviously he did have to come off. But I'm not going to lie, if he didn't get bashed into the advertisement board, I'd probably give him man of the match because I thought he was really, really good. If he had more time on, really good in this game, really composed. Especially, we've seen it a few times in the Premier League, but not an awful lot, from him. And I just thought he was really good. He stepped up, to being a starter in this game. And yeah, he's really good. So based on that, I'm going to go. He did come off. I'm still going to go higher. I'm going to go 7.5.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7.5. I thought it was excellent. It was, they were making about close proximity of the hoardings and stuff, but it doesn't really happen. Where opposition players get pushed in. It was a shoulder barge. It was quite a heavy one. He kind of knew what he was doing, and it was a painful one. He went sliding across the top on his chest as well, and I think it just, he lost, he lost his balance, and I don't know if he's twisted something. Well, hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, he was showing some good skills. Done a nice little flick as well. Got across.
Oh yeah, that was really nice. Yeah.
Spraying passes out. Playing it neatly at the back. I really liked his performance. 7.5.
Yeah, no, really good. Terry says Pelly very good first half, 7.5. Yeah, exactly. Jackie, Pelly is her man of the match. She's gone with a 8 for Ruddock. Like I say, for me personally, if he was on a little bit longer, I'd definitely give it to him. So he just rose to the occasion, to be honest with you. And then moving on, we'll go over to Kabore. Again, another very good game. What's that now? 3 games where he's been consistently good. I did say that after the first game against Palace. I said if he keeps it up, then I'll be happy. Because previously, you look at that Liverpool League game. After that, he didn't quite follow that up. Obviously, the 1-1 draw. So yeah, he's keeping it up. He is a nailed on starter at the moment. Partly because we don't have other players in that position, but still, previously it's players who that's not even their main position going there ahead of him, but it's doing really well at the moment. So, do you know what? I'm going to go over 7.5 again.
I'll give him 7.5. Defended very well. Got a yellow card, but for me that was a good tackle. And stuck to his task. He wasn't on the right side bombing down the wing. He just stuck to his task, done what Bell does basically, and was probably even better than Bell. To be fair, I think, like I said already, that I think he'll keep in that position now, and I can see potentially Chio not playing there. Maybe Townsend, probably Hashioka, and Chio maybe going back to playing the Chong position potentially. We'll see. But yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, Jackie's also going the same. Terry says 7.5. Looks solid, good pace. Yeah, exactly. And then moving on to Doughty, obviously come off, like we said, at half time. Hopefully, he's played a lot of football. So, you can't really worried about it. He's still continuing to play. He's still playing decent, to be fair. He's still getting assists and that. You look at the Bournemouth game. But yeah, I think I can't really go too hard because I say at half time. I'm going to go. I'll go with 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. He was involved a lot in the first, 15 minutes and that, and then not so much. And then obviously come off at half time. So 6.5.
Yeah. And then moving on we'll go over to Clark. Clark, it was a better performance. From him, obviously, he did come off for Berry, in this game. But yeah, he was all right. He's all right, Clark. You got to remember, he's still ideally we'd like to see him a bit higher up, when he does play, but obviously due to the injuries, he's obviously not. But he's still done fairly decent there, so I'll go 6.5.
Yeah, another 6.5. Not outstanding, but defensively, he's not really good defensively. Not in the Premier League anyway. But we play with what we've got, haven't we? So 6.5.
Yeah. Jackie's rating for Doughty's gone with 6. Terry says Doughty 7 needs a 2-week break. Yeah, he is the player that needs it the most, I would say, honestly. So yeah, I don't usually look forward to international breaks, but I'm not going to lie, for us, I am. And I'm sure everyone else is if you're a Luton fan, because the injuries we got, hopefully when we return, we have as many players back as possible. Obviously there's a few that apparently the season, like Nakamba, Bell, and Elijah potentially, but hopefully we have likes of Lukonga back, Osho back. I don't think the Ruddock one was too serious because he looked okay when he come off, considering he went into the board, so we shall see. But yeah, hopefully we have as many players back as possible, especially going into them very difficult away games back to back. But yeah, Clark 6.5, says Jackie, and then Terry's gone with a 6 for Clark. And then moving on, we will go over to Barkley. Again, pretty decent game from him. Like I said, he's always at least decent in these games. He's shown his quality, of course. Like I said earlier, considering he had a broken nose, he's still doing pretty decent. Had that shot, very unlucky. So yeah, he was decent again for me. So I'll go with 7.
I'll give him 7.5. He was unlucky with that shot. He had a couple of sighters as well. When Doughty come off, he was on corner duty and he was pretty decent. So maybe we should start interacting them two. At set pieces, he was taking obviously the set pieces as well, and the goal come from his corner. So 7.5.
Yeah, no, exactly. And for me, ever since the Newcastle away game, where he got that, the ball played in for the first goal, the Osho one, his set pieces have been very good there. Because before that, they were quite overhit. Obviously, he's been absolutely phenomenal for us, but set pieces at times weren't overly great. But now, ever since then, they've been really good for me. And yeah, you could flicker between him and Doughty, and I think we should, to be honest. I think we should. With that, Terry says here, Barkley, good corner for goal, 7.5. And Jackie's also gone with 7.5 as well. Says, unlucky not to score. Yeah, no, he was. This was the game where he's had the shots from distance. I'd say, other than the Newcastle home game, where he's been unlucky with them. Obviously, in Newcastle home game, he was very unlucky as well. Obviously, after Townsend scored, he had a chance, didn't he, in that game? But these ones were good. They're good strikes. They were on target, except obviously the one that hit the post. But again, that's very close. So, yeah, no, definitely unlucky not scoring this game. And then moving on to Chio, we'll start off with Chio when it comes to that front three. What's saying, not great. He's just not really driving at them players. Like I say, using his pace to his advantage. We're not really seeing that from him, and it is a bit frustrating. He's good at doing that. But yeah, I was happy with his performance against Bournemouth. As much as it wasn't great, he did still score. Even if he has games like that, then fair enough. But it's just not really. I don't know. He's just playing it back at times, and it's frustrating. Because we know he can take on that man and that sort of thing. So for me, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go for 6.
I'll give him 6.5. He did he was available and stuff, but again, some of his passing, back before, I think not the same wavelength, and it's not. I think he's just tired as well. Like I said this before, I think he's tiring a little bit. His form has dipped slightly. I don't know why Townsend's not starting, to be honest with you. So I'll give him 6.5.
Yeah. And it also goes back to what I said earlier. I think the games coming up, Townsend's a good player to play in them games. Then again, I did say, I thought Townsend should have started away at Anfield, but then Chio did score, didn't he? So you never know. He might do that. And like I say, he's didn't have a great game against Bournemouth, but still scored, and I was happy with that. But he's just not taking on that man, and I just feel he should. So we know he's very good at it. Jackie says 6 for Chio. So yeah, there we go with that. Definitely for sure, Stephen, 100%, mate. That's why I'm actually looking forward to this international break for once. I ain't gonna watch England games. I'll just put them on in the background. But I care for our sake, club's sake, of getting them players, well, as many players back as we can, really. So yeah, that is that. And then moving on to Chong, getting a decent game. I'll give him massive credit. Last few games because he has come off injured in lots of them, and he's still playing. Still being available, so that's good. He's still decent. He was trying to do things, but obviously we've seen better games. So for me, I'm going to go 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. Same reasons. He's had a couple of knocks recently, and maybe that's affected him. He's played a lot of games in a row. From not really being involved, coming off the bench quite a lot. So a little bit of that, but he's still got ability. 6.5.
Yeah. Terry says Chong 7 put shift was injured. Yeah, against Bournemouth. Yeah, exactly that. Big up to Early Doors TV in the chat. Says big up Tyler. Hope all's well. Yep, good. Thanks, mate. Hope you're well as well. Jackie says 6.5 for Chong. And then moving on to Morris. Can't really remember much from Morris. Compared to what we can see at times. I think he was in the game. He just wasn't. I just can't really remember many chances from Morris, if I remember correctly. It's interesting. Obviously, he's took over the armband. It's one of them where we know Elijah's definitely, when he plays, it's definitely beneficial for Morris. But yeah, can't really remember too much from Morris. I might be completely forgetting, but yeah, I'm gonna go with 6.5 because I don't think I can remember an awful lot.
No, it is 6.5. He held the ball up well. Was getting fouled as usual. It takes the ref about 5 times for it to happen. You back a little bit, but do you know what I mean? And he struggled. He's not a lone striker. Simple as that. It is what it is at the moment. It might work in some games, but generally it doesn't. So 6.5.
Yeah, that is something I always say to you, Dad. I notice with Morris, he's always getting fouled, grabbed, hold on. Even I've seen him get grabbed and shoved out of the way. I saw what Menji done against Haaland. I've been seeing that with Morris. That's been happening to him, and the referees don't give stuff. It's just bizarre to me. It's absolutely crazy. Even Elijah, I see it with him sometimes. It's how is that not a foul? Do you know what I mean? I didn't know you could start doing flipping WWE moves on players. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy. And it's like Terry says here. Morris 7 was fouled a lot. Ref gave him nothing. Yeah, no, exactly. Morris 7. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's fair enough. And then moving on to obviously the bench, we did make 3 changes, all attacking changes in this game. And obviously the first one is obviously Woodrow come on. Doughty. Can't really remember too much from Woodrow, if I'm being overly honest. So I'm just gonna go over 6.
Yeah, for a few nice passes and that, but nothing particular. It's not really. Yeah, he obviously got that equal massive goal against Palace, but he doesn't really come on and change games how you want him to, does he?
No.
Unfortunately, but yeah, 6.
Yeah. There you go with that. Jackie, not too impressed with his performance. Yeah, it's one of them with Woodrow where, yes, he does get these late goals, but at the same time, when he does play longer, he just doesn't really rise to it for me personally. It's just more if he's coming on in games. So it's a bit disappointing. So yeah, didn't get into the game. Yeah, exactly. Especially that Palace game, like you said, getting that goal, you thought maybe he was do something here, but he didn't really do much, did he? And then moving on, Townsend come on for Ruddock. Obviously, Ruddock had to come off, as we all know. Townsend, he was decent for me. Getting on the ball, making things happen. Seemed like he was also, playing an inverted type of role when he come on. He was a lot in the middle at times, as well as on that right side. And even if we've said it, even if we do. I wouldn't mind seeing Townsend start in midfield, maybe, because he'll just do the simple things. Do the simple passes, cross it in. We know how good his crosses are. And yeah, he was decent in the game. So for me, I'm going to go I'll go with a. Do you know what? I'll go with a 7 for Townsend.
I agree. I'll give him 7. He had a couple of shots as well. Always willing to go forward, trying to put the ball in the box. Maybe even we got the corner. I think we got a corner from Kabore actually. But yeah, I want to see him starting, especially in these two big games. He hasn't started recently. Chio's not really doing much, so I'll be tempted to start Townsend 7.
Yeah, I agree. 6.5 for Townsend says Jackie. 6 Terry said put a couple good crosses. Yeah, like we say, he's very good at that. And then moving on to Berry. Obviously got the equaliser. Good to see. Like I said earlier, he scored in all 4 divisions now for us. Like I say, we're just hoping Ruddock does it now. That'll be proper sick. But yeah, you could tell what it meant to him when he scored it. A very good finish. Very good finish. Put good strike on it. Which made it difficult for Forest. Obviously, get rid of it and try to clear it. So, yeah, shout out to Luke Berry coming in clutch with them vital late goals again, which we love to see. And yeah, I've always liked Berry. He always puts in a shift when he comes on, and he proved me wrong. Proved me wrong in the Championship. I didn't think he could play in there, and he proved me wrong in that Blackburn game. And then obviously the Blackpool away game as well. And I don't think in the long run he is going to be able to. He's going to be, in the Premier League player. But I think he come on and put in a shift, and that's what I want to see from players. Yeah, especially in games like that where we lose in, we need a goal. So yeah, Luke Berry, I'm going to go because he did get a goal. I'm going to go with 7.5.
Yeah, same. I agree. 7.5, vital. And we said when he was coming on, come on, Berry, you've got to do something in the game. And then he ended up doing it last minute. Yeah, classic Berry sort of goal. He gets in these positions. He's intelligent at that. And maybe he can get a couple more because he's capable of it. It's worth banging him on in the last 5-10 minutes, and seeing what happens. But yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So yeah, no, totally agree. 7.5 says Jackie for Berry, same as us. Berry, great finish on the turn. Yeah, exactly. It's a very good turn as well. 7 and lovely goal says Peaches. So yeah, overall, man of the matches, both given to Mengi. And yeah, overall, me personally, I'll take the point. All things considered, it's a more beneficial point for us because of their points deduction. And it wasn't the greatest performance, I'd say, especially in the second half for me personally. So I'll take it. I'll take it, all things considered, because large parts of that game, I thought we were going to lose. Just with how the game was going. They had quite a few opportunities to make it 2-0 as well at times. Obviously, the Mengi clearance off the line, that weird shot from 60 yards, about 60 yards out. So overall, I'll take it. I'll take it. And we had our chances as well. So I do think a draw was still a fair result, personally. We had our chances in the first half, quite a few. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Dad, any final things you'd like to say on the game?
Oh, it just would have preferred a win, obviously, but it keeps us in the hunt, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, moving on from that, obviously news that come out today regarding Nottingham Forest. Obviously, we were going to look at it because it obviously impacts us in a good way, you could say. Obviously, we're now up to 17th. Obviously, I've been deducted 4 points. Me personally, I thought it'd be 6. Because it's similar to what Everton had. Apparently they actually have more breaches or something like that. So for them to get less, for me personally, is a bit, a bit bizarre. But your thoughts on this, Dad?
Yeah, it is a bit annoying, but not too surprising. Yeah, Everton, but Everton done it over over a longer period. Forest have only been in the Premier League 1 season, so that maybe it was kind of based on they're hoping they're not going to appeal. I mean, if they do appeal and get any back, that's just a nonsense. Because the recommendation is apparently 6, so it should probably have been that. But I think it's just because it was one season. And I'm not too sure if they'll appeal. We've still got to kind of look at it as if we're 3 points behind them. I know we're not. I do expect Everton to get at least 6, because in my opinion, if this last season, I think they're being charged with. The one before was like COVID seasons and stuff like that. They probably can't use that argument now as well. I doubt they could get 10. Because it's the second time we've done it. When we got punished, that's why we ended up getting the 30, because we'd gone into administration and we'd done it again like three times in a row or something stupid like that. So they punished us. Well, if you do things, otherwise, what's the point? So the maximum they'll get is 10. Can't see it because they got appealed last time. So I think that they're potentially looking at a straight 6, and they can't really argue it because it's the second time, and that would put them, if that happened now, that would put them below just above Nottingham Forest on the same points. But we'll see what happens. It's a good job that we've got them at home. They play each other as well. They've got Liverpool to play. So it's just going to go right down to the wire. This way, I don't think they'll appeal or not. I think they will appeal because their chairman's a bit of a knob. Don't think they'll win it though. I mean, 4 points is not really for overspending. It's just a bizarre season. We don't want it to be like that. At the end of the day, it's just frustrating. We just got to see what happens. Gives us a little bit more belief, I guess. Got 2 weeks off, regroup, and go again. It's kind of, at least we know sort of what people. Everton started off with 10, it's gone 6. That's not going to change, even though they're above us. They're still in the mix. They've got 4. Like I say, I can't see them getting any knocked off of that. Because otherwise, the point where you're just going to give them 1 point for going 63 million or whatever it was over budget. Is that it? Right. So I can't really see them. They'll probably settle for that, and we'll see what happens with Everton. Probably be in next month. We'll probably find out what they're going to get. And then all this stuff about it can go on to after the season's finished and that. I don't think it'll quite get to that stage. I just can't see it, because that's sort of dangerous territory, and it's unfair on the if Burnley, Sheffield United are already down or pretty much down, then they can kind of prepare for next season. Yeah, we're in limbo. If it's us who it affects, and if we're down by then and the points deduction don't matter, then fair enough. Yeah, but if it does, then that's not fair on us. Simple as that. Because you don't contracts. I want to sign you. We've been after you for a while. Yeah, but I want to play Premier League football. We don't know if we're going to be in the Premier League. We've got to wait until freaking the end of May. That's not fair. So I think they'll be looking to get it done way before then. And I think if Everton get another one, I don't think they really have any scope to appeal. Especially if it's another 6. It's the second time we've done it. What excuses? You've got to have reasons to appeal as well. You can't just say, I don't want it. You've got to have valid reasons to back it up. But they haven't, as far as I'm concerned. So I expect them to get another 6, 4 to 6. 6, I'd say. And Forest to stack on that. I don't think they'll get any more than that. Or any less, any off of that either. So that's my view on it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Like I say, it ain't 6. I'm going to be honest, but is what it is. Again, like you say, I didn't want it to get to a stage like where we have to sort of, look at it a bit more than we probably wanted to. But for me, I look at like the Bournemouth game, for example, and it's just a bit frustrating. Good opportunity to extend it. In that game. And I know a lot of Forest fans at the time when we were 3-0 up were worried, going into that game. So if we did keep the hold of it, and then got a draw there on the weekend like we did, it would have been bit better, but is what it is, really, when it comes to that. But yeah, obviously, as for the table, like I say, that puts us to 17th now. Obviously, a point above Forest. And yeah, obviously, it's going to be interesting though, because like I say, we've got two very difficult away games when we come back, but hopefully, we can have as many players back as possible, like I say, and it could benefit us. It will definitely benefit us.
I mean, you can look at the fact that it's Tottenham and Arsenal, both close to us. Travel. You might be able to travel on the day. Things like that. So that's not too bad, but it's just the quality, especially with Arsenal. Even if we got Lokonga back, he's not allowed to play.
Against Arsenal, yeah, that's why I worry about that game more than Tottenham. To be honest,
Elijah will be back.
No, not say they're saying season for him, aren't they? So
we'll see. It's certain it'll give the players time to work with each other a bit more as well. Because some of these players, obviously, because Clark's not in that usual position, that maybe they'll work on some stuff, and we'll see what happens. But maybe we'll go defensive in them games. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think we'll be lucky out of them, Arsenal and Man City. If we get 2 points out of that, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree with that. I think even at the point of any of them next 3 away games is really good. Because you have got to take into account that, like you say, and all the team. Yes, we're chasing. We're trying to stay up, but Tottenham trying to get that top 4. Arsenal. I mean, in a way, potentially, Arsenal, Man City is the game the week before or whatever. If Man City win that, which I think they will, I'll be honest, maybe it dampen Arsenal a little bit. Because it was this sort of stage last season. They had them weird results. Like they drew to Southampton, didn't they? And Southampton were pretty much gone. So I'm not saying we can do that, but could maybe dampen them a little bit. But I don't know, man. Like it's like you say, Dad. No Lokonga in that game. Do you know what I mean? Like
if they lose to Man City, they'll be all over us.
Yeah, I don't know, and that's why ideally
and get a little bit complacent. That might be the better thing.
Yeah, that's another reason. In a way, it was a bit frustrating that Tottenham lost. I think they will, will go all out now. That's why I'm hoping we've got as many back as possible. But yeah, we'll obviously get into that. Obviously closer to the time. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, like I say, we're 17th now. But bit annoying that it is 4 as well, because I also look at it, right? If we do lose to Tottenham, then Forest beat Palace. They are at home, maybe. It depends. But say they do, then just go above us just like that. I just don't feel the punishment's enough, personally. But then again, we shouldn't have bottled the Bournemouth game. So, it's just one of them.
Performance as well. So.
Yeah, Sheffield United. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that is that. But yeah, Dad, any final things you'd like to say about anything?
Enjoy the break and then keeps checking the news for what's coming out and seeing if they're going to appeal. I don't think they should. I don't see the point.
No point. No point for me.
Well, I do see the point, but why bother giving them that? That's absolutely nothing.
Exactly, and that's That's why I say they shouldn't. It's just pointless.
And I've seen
it. Say if they did get a result against Palace, I'm not saying they're going to, but say they did.
I don't see other teams in other leagues.
I mean, they'll just go above us. So why does it matter? Sort of thing.
I don't see other teams in other leagues getting all these appeals and things like that. I don't know. Getting more in the other leagues than you do in the Premier League, don't you?
Yeah.
Can't see them getting more knocked off of that. Can't see it. But yeah, just enjoy the break.
Yeah, no, definitely, for sure. Okay, just got sent a message. Don't think I'm meant to get sent that, but there we go. But yeah, as I'm saying, I'm looking forward to the international break for once. just so we can have as many players back as possible. And yeah, next Hatter show, we'll do it on Friday. I'm not too sure if you'll be on that one, Dad, as it stands. Because obviously, you're going out that day, so we might arrange a time.
That's next weekend, mate.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So we'll sort something out for that. We'll try and get Tottenham fan on for that as well. If not, I'll see if I could do a pre-recorded video again. And then I might be doing a vlog from home with a Tottenham fan. So that's going to be interesting. I was hoping to do the Arsenal game with Narshe, but I think he's going on holiday, he said to me. So obviously I'll do a watch along anyway. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I'm sure a few channels will ask me to go on for Tottenham and Arsenal. So it's going to be interesting, isn't it? But yeah, we'll get into that. And like I say, if any news comes out regarding, them appealing or Everton getting more points, like we discussed, then I'll probably do a video on it. But other than that, there's probably not going to be nothing because, like I say, it's the international break. It's not even like there's transfer news we can talk about. Might do a video about Joe Taylor, thinking about it, because he is on fire at the moment, isn't he, at Lincoln? Might even boost and help them get in the playoffs over Stevenage as well. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So we'll see. I might do a video about him, maybe. But like I say, the main thing is if anything comes out regarding points, then I'll probably do a little T-Boy discusses. It's been a while since I've done one of them. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, we'll wrap it up here. So yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Jackie says I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, usually I'm not. I'll watch the England games. I have them on in the background because as much as they're only friendlies, I do want to see how we do in a way because we are playing good teams. We are playing Brazil. We're playing, who's the other one? Belgium. I mean, I do think Belgium are a little bit overrated. They're always up there in the rankings, but they haven't won nothing. But then again, we're always up there, and what have we won? But then again, you would say we got better quality squad. So, but it's the manager, isn't it? But there we go. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he plays certain players. Certain players get in, you get gassed, and then they don't even play. Like I remember Ivan Toney before when he got in, he didn't really play. And I was like, what is going on here? So we'll see. But yeah, no, definitely early doors, mate. Definitely for sure. 100%. But yeah, I'll probably do that if anything comes out, like I say, regarding points. I might do a video about Joe Taylor. Yeah, might do. Because League One football's still going on. Should be. I know League Two football is. But yeah, if League One football's going on, then they might even be playing. But I'm not 100% sure. So we'll see. Underrated of Belgium. Good players, but I don't know. I just think they're a tiny bit overrated with certain things. Oh God, don't even get me started. But yeah, that is that. But yeah, I think this is a good place to wrap it up. Terry coming in with the digs there. Do you know what I mean? On Forest. But yeah, big up to everyone who's tuned in. Much appreciated. And again, I know a lot of people watch back on playbacks. Obviously, smash a like there. And yeah, do check out the vlog from home as well from the other day if you haven't already. Massive shout out to everyone, like I said last time, that did watch the Bournemouth one. A lot of new subscribers from that, so really do appreciate that. And not sure when the next one will be as it stands, because like I say, the Tottenham, well, with you anyway, Dad, because obviously Tottenham should be doing it with a Tottenham fan. Arsenal obviously is a watch along. Bournemouth probably actually thinking about it. Need to get revenge there, and then Man City away. I don't know. I don't know with that one. I'll just be totally honest with you lot. But obviously, we'll do a preview for that one. So, yeah, like I say, big up to everyone who's tuned in. Obviously, do smash a like if you haven't already. Do subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. Link to that is in the description. And follow me across all my socials as well. And again, big up on TikTok. A lot more new followers on there as well. And I see a lot of people enjoying mine and your reactions to the last two games, Dad. So, yeah, big up to everyone for that. And last few comments. Good show, Tyler. Big up to yourself, mate. Great show as usual. Enjoy the break. Yep, same goes for you. And big up yourself. And yeah, take care, everyone. Same goes to you. So yeah, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Big up, guys. Until next time, take care and peace. Uptown.